last Sunday at 9, the world was shook up again. The world of sports gave its undivided attention to The Last Dance, the untold story of Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls in that 97-98 season. And The Last Dance, for me, and people my age, is a reminder. It's just a glimpse back into the greatness of Michael Jordan. For everybody my age and older, if you grew up watching Michael Jordan, if you're old enough to have been blessed to watch Michael Jordan play. So everybody who was able to watch Jordan at least the second three-peat on back. The Last Dance was a reminder of how great he was. For all you young folk who've never seen Michael Jordan, welcome to greatness. Welcome to greatness. You thought you knew what greatness was. You thought you knew what winning was. But now you know, because the GOAT, or one of the GOATs, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, is on full display. How great he was, how great Scotty was, how great Dennis Rodman with that Bulls team. So, the drama. Let's get into the drama, right? Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause is the smartest and dumbest general manager in the history of sports. I have arguably one of the greatest teams ever. Yeah, they're getting older, but one of the greatest teams ever. And his number one mission was to break it up because he wasn't getting the recognition he felt he deserved to get, as if his fat ass played basketball. See, the general manager, you get your praise as the team wins because you put that together. So that's how you get your praise. Like the media and the fans know who you are. We don't care to know who you are. Hell, you ain't out there playing. Right? So Jerry Krause, he was on display for being one of the main reasons the Bulls was broken up. The Bulls owner, I can't think of his name right now. He wasn't very helpful. He was a dumbass too. I didn't understand why they wanted to break the team up. So it was one scene in The Last Dance where the owner of the Chicago Bulls at the time told Phil Jackson that even if they go 82-0, he won't bring him back the next year to be the coach of the Chicago Bulls. Jordan didn't want to play for nobody else. Pippen didn't want to play for nobody else like that in Chicago under those circumstances, which I thought was fucking idiotic from the owner and Jerry Krause, because they wanted to break that thing up. Scottie Pippen, come on, Scotty. Scotty's greatness is on display, but how underappreciated he was on full display as well. I'm talking about episodes 1 and 2. So excuse me, I just dove right in. I really just dove right in. But okay, so last Sunday they showed episodes 1 and 2. And I say it like this: I'm recording this episode before the airing of episodes 3 and 4 because of our recording schedule with the Freedom Train. I have to record this a day early. So I'm not actually going to be talking about episodes 3 and 4 until next week's episode. But I could talk about 1 and 2 because 1 and 2 is what I saw. And so they did a lot of 1 and 2 did a lot of behind the scenes or leading up to what led to the Bulls. We got to see Jordan in college. We got to see Pippen at Central Arkansas. I had no idea what college Scottie Pippen went to. I had no idea what type of college player Scottie Pippen went to. No idea of the situation. No idea of Scottie Pippen's family. I didn't know Scottie Pippen was a country boy like that. So we learned a lot more about Scottie. Also, the janky-ass contracts and dumb-ass decisions, or the not-so-smart decisions in signing contracts. But the thing behind that with Scottie is Scottie was trying to take care of his family, so he signed a bad contract and he was, I think they said, the 122nd highest paid player in the NBA, and clearly a top 10 NBA player, but the 122nd highest paid player in the NBA. Scottie Pippen, at the height of the Bulls' success, like during the second three-peat, Scottie Pippen was getting paid like trash, man. And so it's funny because we got to see them go through the trade with Charles Oakley, trading Charles Oakley away and bringing in Bill Cartwright to get the right pieces in place, especially for the first three-peat. And then the first three-peat happened, then it all leading up to the second three-peat and the last part of the second three-peat. Because the owners created the environment in a situation where they didn't want to continue. They literally wanted to blow the whole thing up, keep Michael Jordan, blow the whole thing up, and rebuild after just winning your second three-peat. Matter of fact, they didn't even want to go for the sixth ring. The Bulls front office didn't want to go for the sixth ring. They wanted to blow the whole thing up and just say fuck it. But I agree with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was like, hey man, you got to give us our chance to defend our fucking title. Like, we got to defend our title. Like, you can't just tell us that you finna blow this whole thing up and we haven't won our second title. So they had that issue. The disrespect Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen had for and displayed toward Jerry Krause was both funny, appalling, and like wow. There was a lot of wow moments because of how they talked to him to his face. Real nigga shit though. Real nigga shit. Real nigga shit. You can't be mad at them for saying it to his face. They didn't talk behind the man's back. I hope I ain't got no booger. They didn't talk about the man behind his back. They called him a piece of shit to his face. You got to respect that. Now, it's disrespectful, but you got to respect that they didn't come on no whole stuff and come behind Jerry Krause's back. But they told him to his face that he was a bitch, and they felt like he was a bitch. We also talked that it showed Pippen being dissatisfied with his contract, and then this dissatisfaction that persuaded when he I think he got foot surgery, had to get foot surgery going to that 97-98 year, and he missed the first part of the season, and how Jordan had to carry the team, and they started out. I remember that though, and that's what they was talking about. I was like, yeah, I remember that, how they started the season out slow, had a lot more losses than they expected. But me being who I was, understanding who Jordan was, I was like, man, whatever, man. They got off to a slow start. They're still gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna go through the playoffs and win the championship, which we know they did, right? But it also leads to showing how savage Jordan was on the court, like, because if you go to YouTube and just type in Jordan stories or don't talk smack to Jordan, you're gonna see a whole bunch of videos come up, because Jordan had the switch. The switch was already on high, but he knew how to take that switch and get it to a whole nother level, especially if you talk shit. Jordan was a beast, and so gets me to thinking about the debate of who's the greatest. Now, the greatest basketball player of all time. Now I still don't think we can fairly assess that this one player was the greatest of all time. Now, I do think we could put the greatest players at positions. Or if we're doing head up, we could say something like that. But different people brought different things. So, like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a great argument for the GOAT.